Hello, Canadians. How you all doing? My name is Rodney Cordero. I am not with any party. I am a Canadian. I'm a Canadian person. I work. So, if I am a party, I'd say I'm a Canadian person party. Like real Canadians, not rich Canadian. Which is a shame because we, Canadians, going to have to pay back a $6 trillion deficit our rich government decided to give away all our money, which is a little concerning to me, right? You got literally a few hundred people deciding the fate of 40 million Canadians. I was about to say 38, but it's in the 40 range now. When you actually think about it, right, that should be criminal, right? It's like some banker dude trusting with a bank steals a bunch of money, right? Guess what happens to that person? They usually go to jail. No, not governments. Governments could do whatever they wish, right? You got O'Toole. I'm a conservative party, right? I'm pretty sure this man has never had callus on his hand in his life. So how are you going to make it that you're going to run a country, but you never worked a day in your life? Yeah, he might have worked at McDonald's or something, right? When he was a kid, but yeah, college and all that. After that, yeah, you become in a different class of human being. And I think that's where most of us Canadians are so getting screwed for, because, wait a second, our families were literally working from paycheck to paycheck. Right? Now just to find out my mom's in a long-term care home and she's getting treated like crap. Which sucks because she worked hard. She had 2 jobs. She raised 3 children by herself. And it's just like, okay, my mom never got ahead because she's working paycheck to paycheck, and because of the color of her skin too, when it comes right down to it, right? I mean, there's one thing white people have showed us is they are racist. Not all of them, but there's a lot of them that are. A lot of them own businesses. If they don't own them, they manage them. And yeah, a lot of people get kept where they're at just because of the color of their skin. Now you got all this Black Lives Matter. Seriously, I've not seen so many black people on TV before. Commercials are just every commercial you see, you'll see a black person. It's just like, what happened to all those other colored people, like Asians, Spanish, Indian, Latinos, everybody else, right? Now we're in a world where it's white lives matter and black lives matter, because anything in between, guess what? It's still the same lives we live. We get racist, the guys try to go work for the Ford company. Need a college engineering degree to work for the Ford company, which I think is racist because their hiring pool is literally 90% white. Right? When you go to a university, you are eliminating so many color groups, because I went to university. I was like such a minority. I think there was only one other Spanish person at Seton Hall University when I went. And there was like a dozen black guys, but they were all on like the basketball team and the football team. Right? It's just like, okay, the school needed them for that, but you know, I think they got scholarships and stuff. My parents split up. I couldn't even get a scholarship, even though I was 4.0. But yeah, I'm a hardworking Canadian. Like anybody watching this right now, if you don't work paycheck to paycheck, overtime to save money and so forth, don't vote for anybody in a party. Seriously, we'll always be stuck where we're at. I become prime minister, I'm literally going to minimum wage. It's going up to $20 an hour. There's no way somebody can live in this day and age for any less. And it's just all those people who got a slightly more education. It doesn't mean they're better at the job. They just got a slightly more education. And they make way more than you because, yeah, your parents couldn't afford you to send you to college. Right? And if they didn't divorce in that time and you actually did finish, chances are you would never get that job anyways because they're going to a white workforce pool to hire people. Think about it. Right? If there's a colored person that ever went to high school or university, college, tell me if you think the numbers are right. Right? Because they say, oh, we're not racist, we'll hire people, right? But you got to go to university. And right then and there, they are limiting their work gene pool pretty much to a certain thing. And things are never going to change unless somebody that knows what happens is in a position to do stuff. Like, racism, if I become prime minister, I'm try to send you to jail. I'm going to try to make it laws where you can't put somebody down for their color of their skin. Right? You can't bypass somebody for the job because they're not white. I've been bypassed for jobs because of that. And as in Edmonton, my boss was a good Christian man. Paid me well, treated me well. But he sold the company. And a new guy came in and was straight up, looked at me and was like, yeah, I'm not working for this dude, no. So he hired 3 people to take away work from me. Like I used to weld, change motors on machines, right? That change the PTOs so we get proper suction. No problem, I'll go do that. After that, can you weld some feet for those fences and stuff? And I got a bin in there with a big slit in it. Yeah, I heat it up, bend it back, solder, weld it together, grind it, paint it. Right? The new guy came in and literally hired 3 people to do the work I was doing just so I wouldn't get the time, the hours. I literally went from 100 some hours every week to every pay to pretty much not even 40 hours a week. I was just like, okay, well, I could sit here and just go broke slowly, or I could leave. Try to claim EI for racism, but couldn't. I quit. So, yeah, it's just weird, right? I got all this money in EI, but work makes you stay home for 2 weeks. You'll get paid for those 2 weeks. Government will give you money. You got to give that money back. Got to give that money back. And you only get it once. So if work makes you stay home for another 2 weeks, guess what? You're not going to get any money for that. Period. It's stupid, right? The government's making you stay home. But I got EI to pay for that, but I'm not going to get my EI to pay for that. It's just another way the government steals from hard-working people. Which sucks, right? Do they have to worry about not getting paid for a month or two? Pretty sure they go a couple of years without getting paid and they'll still be living well. It's just okay. I walked down the street the other day and I literally seen a whole bunch of businesses no longer there. They shut down. They got for sale, for lease sign up. And you look inside, there's nothing in there anymore. They got shut down because of our government. These were businesses that were there for a long time, but now they're not because right? Our government is more concerned with their own pockets than they are Canadian pockets. So unless that stuff changes, whole tool, gotta go to work now. Man's never worked a hard day in his life. His work is probably walking, having somebody give him coffee. Oh, here's your next meeting, sir. Oh, news might be there. Oh, well, call them up, make sure they're here. I need free advertising, man. It's just that's the way the rich work. They literally get served handful. If you go to one of their houses, I'm pretty sure you're going to see some nanny working there, getting paid real crap wage too, $300-400 a week. And it's just well, I don't comprehend this. Why, why, why can't you do that work yourself? We're too lazy, right? And plus, we can find somebody to do it cheap because, yeah, they're from another country. They want a good life. Hey, they get to work in this really nice home, take care of our kids, clean up after us. Right? When you actually think about the numbers on that, very small numbers. When you actually think about the numbers who have to work overtime every week to afford to live, that's a way bigger number. And when you actually think about it, we Canadian people, hard-working Canadian people, I think it's time we run this country, right? The rich tried. They ain't do nothing. $6 trillion in deficit. Probably billions of that got stolen. Right? Who's going to do anything? The new ones that go in? No, because they're going to want to steal money too. And guess what? Yeah, I think any federal employee should give up their rights to their bank accounts so they know, or we Canadian people know, they're not stealing from us. I mean, look at the Ford company, right? We literally gave Ford company billions of dollars before any of that money landed into Canadian pockets. It's like soon as Ford got that money, him and Trudeau had a little meeting and was like, let's give Ford this money, right? They'll hire a couple hundred employees, but yeah, we'll get a lot of money back. Yeah. So that's the real deal, y'all. If you think any other thing, I wish you wouldn't, because somebody's misleading you. Seriously, the health department is running the earth. They had their ways. We be in plastic bubbles our whole time. Yeah, don't go. Well, seriously, your doctor don't want you to do anything, right? I literally help out vets that risked their lives for us, for our rights. And guess what? We have no rights. It's my birthday. Guess what? I'm so screwed. I can't do nothing. Friends, what? No, we're locked down. What? So much for rights, right? Wear a mask for 2 weeks. You'll be good. Year later, seriously, it's all a game, y'all. It's a game. It's the way for them to make money. How can we pocket money? Health department's been doing so crappy for so long. Maybe, pretend like this is way dangerous than it is, right? It's a flu. We'll just name this flu. We'll shut down the planet. We'll get a bunch of $1 million put in our accounts, right? And only certain doctors are going to get that. The other people that work in hospitals, they're all going to be mad because they ain't getting none of that. They might be getting a little extra. I was in a hospital. ICUs, kind of packed. But all those floors, all those are empty. Because nobody's in there for surgeries or anything. So all those rooms are empty. You got people in ICU. And they're not moving them because, well, yeah, we got a bunch of empty beds up there, but yeah, we want more money. Right? They're in a pandemic. They ain't making money. All those surgeries that should be happening. I'm supposed to take an MRI. You know, that could take 6 months. And that's just for a possible hernia. It's just like, are you serious? So I can't get a note until I take the test. So for 6 months, I'm going to jeopardize my life working at Metro, lifting stuff. And it's just like, well, they don't really care. I mean, I just started there. Supervisors don't tell me anything. Right? The supervisor gave me a piece of paper the other day, and I was like, what's this for? Right? I asked some other guys, I was given this. Oh, dude, it's your birthday. Yeah, you just ask for a couple days, you get a day off for your birthday. It's a personal day. I'm like, well, he didn't tell me all that. He just said, here go. And it's just like, well, okay, you're like a supervisor. Ain't you supposed to be like doing a supervisor work? I mean, I was a supervisor. That was part of my job, doing that. And I just like, here, take this, go. Here. Like, you're just mad at me? Why? Because I'm not white? Because I seen a white guy get treated totally different than I did. Which, it's the world we live in. It's plain and simple. Ain't nothing ever gonna change unless we did it before. We elected Trudeau. Make things change. It's time for all you hard-working Canadians to be like, you know what? I would love my kids to get a job that pays $20 an hour minimum wage. Because all these other companies, tens of millions of dollars every quarter they're making in profits, they can't make people's lives better. They're making their own lives better, but nobody else's, which is a shame. The rich are always going to stay rich. They're always going to look out for themselves. Yeah, well, too. Yeah, I'm conservative party, and we got all this to make up, right? And plus, I'm going to want to steal some of that, too. So let's get to work. Right? Let's get to work, Canadians. Let's start putting our foot down and say, hey, we are tired of you rich people running our country into the ground. You guys are only looking out for yourselves. You are not looking out for anybody you're working for. Well, they get donations from companies and stuff. I'm pretty sure they look out for them, right? It's just like, I got no donations. If I get anywhere with any of this, it's going to be because people are going to be like, hey, wait, this guy's like us. Why aren't we voting for this guy instead of some rich dude who's never worked hard in their lives? Think about it. You're letting your country be run by somebody who's never worked hard in their life. Do you think anybody's but the rich are ever going to succeed? No, unless we change it, right? Serious. Minimum wage, $20 an hour. Plain and simple. If companies can't afford that, hey, and let some of those employees go and you work. Hey, right? It's just like, no, I don't work. No, I just want to make all this money. My employees are my slaves. Right? You are. When you work for somebody and you're getting paid less than $20 an hour, to me, I consider you being taken as a slave. Because you are literally working from paycheck to paycheck to paycheck for this guy. You become his slave. Because guess what? You can't quit your job. You're not going to get it's like, you're going to have to be his slave for the rest of your life unless you get another part-time job or another full-time job and get out of it. But other than that, your employees trap you where you are by paying you so less so you don't leave, so you work paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. And next thing you know, 20 years later, you're still working paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. Right? There's a lot more of us than thems. I think we could change Canada. Change it for the better, not just for the rich, but for every citizen in Canada. I don't care your color, your creed, or whatever. Right? You work, you should get paid for it, plain and simple. I think that's where we need to put our foot down and say, hey, you keep raising food prices, you keep raising rent, but when it comes down to it, you ain't raising our pay. So, I'm running for Prime Minister of Canada. We are $6 trillion in deficit, and nothing ever going to change unless we Canadians who work paycheck to paycheck make a change, because there's like 30 million of us. We should be able to make that change, right? It's on use. I'm getting tired of it. I'm willing to sacrifice a whole bunch of my time to make our lives better. Hoping you are. We sacrifice some of your time and like, share, subscribe. If I get enough subscribers, and maybe we can change Canada for the better, not just for the rich. Thank you. Be safe.